Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new here, hi, my name is Natasha and it's fantastic to have you here. I do apologize ahead of time. I am recovering from some sort of fun cold virus, so I will sound funky and this will be a little bit of a speed round of a reading. So this is a general reading for the full moon in Gemini happening December 4th, or depending on where you are in the world, a couple days before or after December 4th, 2025. So keep in mind this is a general reading, so take what resonates and know that the intention was there for there to be a message for you in this reading. All right, so we're going to start with the tarot, and then I have some oracle cards that we're going to see for confirmation or deeper meanings. The first card that we're going to read out of the Seasons of the Witch Winter Tarot is going to be the overall message of how best to utilize this energy, and we have Judgment or Self-Reflection. Okay, love that. And then the advice on how to best utilize this energy or go through it would be the Master of Winter with the Cups. So this would be the King of Cups here. Okay. So overall, this full moon is asking you to reflect on the past month, the past season, etc., and see what you are wanting to accept and take with you for this next year, this next season, etc., and what to leave behind. What you are proud of, what you want to continue to work on and work through will come with you, and what you don't, leave behind. There has been a lot of progression, especially with this being the number 20 in the major arcana. So that means we have all gone through it. And if you are anything like me this year of 2025 alone, it has been a roller coaster, right? So there's been a lot of ups, there's been a lot of downs. So now's the time to really truly reflect on the time spent this year, and honestly, for a while until you want to move forward, right? So there's trials, tribulations, what worked, what didn't, what do you want to, keep cultivating and expanding upon, and what do you want to leave behind? Because ultimately, if you continue to do things that don't serve your best interest, you're going to keep relearning those lessons. If you accept that that was a lesson you needed to learn, then you can let it go and leave it behind. Ultimately, this is asking you to release what doesn't serve you anymore and to move forward with a lighter heart, a lighter soul, etc. And then we have the King of Cups as advice on how to kind of move through this energy. And so the King of Cups is someone who is very balanced. He's somebody who has emotional intelligence, very wise, but he also is somebody who has empathy and compassion. So as you are looking through what doesn't work, what you want to bring with you, what lessons you've learned, and etc. with this Judgment card, do so with that balanced mindset. Do so with the emotional intelligence of knowing that sometimes feelings are just feelings. Sometimes lessons are just lessons. They don't always have to be something that we carry with us always. Sometimes we can let go with a boundary. Sometimes a boundary is good for not only yourself, but other people. So there's this emotional weight that we put behind the decisions that we make here, of the reflections. This is giving very much like a New Year's resolution energy as well. So a lot of you are ready to move on next year and really make next year feel better for yourselves, whether that is taking on new challenges, whether that is embracing new habits, hobbies, or expanding as a person. You're going through next year with intentions of becoming more expanded and more emotionally intelligent, more aware and more compassionate, not only to yourself, but the people in your lives, right? So that's essentially what this is saying too. Be very self-aware, be open to new experiences, but be balanced, be grounded in both your intellectual wisdom as well as your emotional wisdom. The King of Cups is somebody who listens to their intuition, but also knows that the facts are important. The intelligence behind what's going on is also important. Don't let people walk all over you. Say no with a compassionate heart. Put your boundaries up in a compassionate way. So everything that you're doing with this self-reflection is in the embrace of balance and emotional intelligence. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, next up we have the Astro deck. This is the Heavenly Bodies. Again, I am so sorry. My brain is on its last leg, but We pushed through. First card for confirmation. We got mutable with surrender, fluidity, and welcoming change. And we've got the Gemini there. So again, confirming what we were already talking about, being in that moment of expansion and change, but also surrendering to the fact that like, yeah, this may not be where I was expected to go, but it's where I'm at, and I can release what's no longer letting me, achieve my best results, achieve who I am in the best way. We can let it all go. We can leave it behind, accepting the past, surrendering, and then moving forward. Mutable just means that you're allowed to change. You're fluid. And I think that's a great attribute to have, especially in situations like this where you kind of want to look at things objectively and understand that everything is a lesson in and of itself. Then we have Libra, and we have balance with those scales: consideration, fairness, and harmony. So again, be fair with yourself as you're looking back. Be fair as you move forward. You want to align with the spirit of harmony, the spirit of balance. Not everything is going to come out equal all the time, but you want to, shoot for that. You want to aim for that. You don't want always, want to have excess in one area, right? That too much of a good thing is not a good thing. So be considerate with yourself and how far you've come and what you had to do to get where you're at, right? And be fair with yourself on what you need to let go and what boundaries you need to put up. Again, sometimes that's really easier said than done, but boundaries and, hard lines are very important for your growth, for your own best interest. And then we have Saturn, feeling restricted, experiencing struggle, learn hard work and patience. So this may have been a year. You could have had your Saturn return this year, but it may have felt like this for you, where you've been feeling trapped. You've been experiencing a lot of struggle, and no matter how hard of the work you put in, it never seemed to be enough. So Saturn is one that likes to deal with hard rules and discipline. And so you were learning that this year. If you reflect back, you can do hard things. You persisted despite the challenges, despite the hard work and the struggle. You persisted. And I'm not saying that you should be having to persist all the time, but what did you learn out of those struggles? What did you gain as far as knowledge and experience? Did you stay in the environments that had to continue to make you feel restricted? Or did you figure out a way to leave it behind? Did you put up boundaries? That sort of a thing. Saturn is a teacher. And so when this card comes up, what were you being taught? And then we have opposition, imbalance, a point of tension, and a power struggle. So that goes right along with what we were talking about. There have been tensions and struggles in your time here. I say this past year because this is the last full moon of the year. So I feel like it's a compilation of everything, an accumulation of what has gone on. But ultimately, this can be last month, this can be from the last full moon, etc. Just take what resonates. But know that there has been a point of imbalance, and now we're trying to get to that balance. We've seen balance here and in the Libra now, and honestly with the mutable as well. You want to be able to get past that point of struggle. So what did you learn to do so? And your last one from this deck is water. So spirituality, emotion, intuition, and compassion, all things we talked about with the King of Cups here. So really lean on those energies of, connecting with your intuition, knowing that emotions are you being able to feel them in your body and release them through your body, being compassionate with yourself and others. And not everybody or everything, deserves compassion at the time. So use your intuition and judgment for that. But what I am saying is compassion will always lead to more compassion. It's always a great thing to have instead of, being hardened by life. Go through it with empathy and compassion. It is not a sin. So here is the Astro Starcodes. First one, we have Mars with motion. Do not take this as a indication to sit still. Yes, it's winter. Yes, we're coming upon winter, I should say, but it still requires action. You still need motion. You still need to put steps in place to create the manifestations that you want, to go toward the goals that you want. So again, if you aren't liking what you had to go through this past year, past month, what are you doing to prevent that from happening again? What lessons have you learned, and how are you moving forward despite those challenges to make sure that they don't happen again? The Mars is like the lit fire, the flame that burns, the what's that saying, to light a fire under you to get you to do something? It's like the constant, like, let's go, take the action, move forward, drive. It's always like the express train instead of, walking. It's taking like the train to go cross country or whatever. The speed rail. That's the one. Goodness, I'm telling you, I'm getting there. So the Mars is asking you to not stay in place for too long, to actually take action on your dreams, to move forward and to keep going despite what you've been through. And then we have Libra. Again, more confirmation there with the balance, especially, be fair with yourself, do things in alignment with harmony and with balance. What comes up must come down. So remember that Wheel of Fortune energy. Remember that if you've been down and out, you're not going to stay down and out for long if you are moving toward things that are in alignment with what your goals are and what you're passionate about, what you're doing. Then we have Pisces with Sensitize. So yeah, you might need to, so we have the Mars and Pisces. So this is like that divine masculine energy with Mars here. And then we also have that intuition with the divine feminine. So it's kind of like the balance between the two that we were talking about similarly with the King of Cups. So it really is you tapping into your compassion and your intuition and your empathy and your emotions with this Pisces card, the otherworldly of it, the spiritualization of yourself, getting that side and getting your grounded earth energy and your passion to kind of be in balance and move forward with the goals that you want to achieve. Again, be sensitive to what you had to go through this year as you go through the reflections. Don't be too hard on yourself, okay? Because that's not going to be productive either. You can look at it with acceptance and rationality, but you cannot look at the decisions you've made and be so hard on yourself that causes you to shut down and not be productive in the future. Accept that, yes, things happen in a certain way, and that if you could go back and change certain things, maybe you would, but at the end of the day, that's not going to happen. So how can you best transition that into moving forward into a better opportunity for yourself? And your last one out of this is with the Athena here with I think. So again, we're really driving home this King of Cups energy of balancing your intellectual wisdom, your emotional wisdom, your energy of compassion and intuition, and utilizing them all together to push forward. Okay. Next we have the Moonology. Oh, what is it called? The Moonology Messages Oracle. All right, so little messages as you go along here. Face your fears with the cold moon. That's exactly essentially what this is. When you self-reflect, sometimes that it involves shadow work as well. It is a type of shadow work too. So this could be facing, the cringe moments. It could be facing your, the stumbles that you've took. And that could be a big issue for some of you. Others, it's okay, I got to face my fear and actually do what I've been wanting to do for so long. Or I got to face my fear and actually provide that boundary and stand up for myself. That is all very valid and frightening for a lot of people. Sometimes going after your dreams is actually a fear that you have to face too, because you deal in terms of, am I worthy enough? Do I deserve it? Have I worked hard enough? And all of those are valid fears, but again, they're not going to benefit you if you don't face them. You're not going to ever find out if you don't face them. So this is asking you to stand in service of yourself and reflect, but face your fears. Face your own skeletons in your closet. Face your own shadows that you've been neglecting for a while. And honestly, take care of yourself. Self-care too is coming up. So a lot of you need that time for yourself to recuperate. Next, we have focus. So what is your next focus going to be? Are we going to focus on what didn't work, on what we failed at? Or are we going to focus on what went right and what we can do better next time and of the coming year? What is our focus? What should that be? And how can we maintain it? Because we know if we focus on the lack part of it, we're going to see more lack. If we focus on the negativity, we're going to see more negativity. But if we focus on things that went right, focus on things that we could have gratitude for, you're going to see more doors of opportunity come your way. You're going to see more healing come your way. If you focus on things that, made you feel good, that things that went well, like for instance, spending time with family that wasn't drama filled, that things that filled your cup up, you're going to find more moments because your brain will be looking for those moments and it's going to attract them in that way. So what are you going to focus on? Next, we have truth with moon rising. So again, what is your truth? And you have to be honest with yourself when you want to let go of things, when you want to set boundaries. You have to have that emotional intelligence to know that it's okay to stand in your truth because you've had experiences that provide you that truth. You know where you stand. You know what boundaries you need to place. You know what you need to let go of. Be honest with yourself. Again, that could be a fear that you've had a hard time doing in the past, but now's the time. And the full moon is a great time to let go of things. I almost cursed. Let go of the ick that you've been holding on to because it's only holding you back. What is your truth, right? It could be as deep as that, or it could be as simple as, you got to be honest with yourself. You got to, clean, or you got to, take another course in college, etc. I don't know, but you know what it is. And your last one here is self-regulation with exalted moon. So that's exactly what it means. How are you self-regulating? Are you going back to poor habits to help you, quote unquote, cope? Or are you moving toward breath work, eating healthier foods, exercising, and when I say exercising, that's like actually walking or getting outside, meditating, yoga. Are you doing things that are stressing you out, or are you doing things that are helping your body feel safe, loved, and nourished, right? Because self-regulation isn't about self-medication. Self-regulation is allowing your systems to neutralize, I guess is the right word, to feel safe and homogeneous, harmonious even. Again, we're going back to that Libra energy. So self-regulation, how are you going to do that better in the future? And what mechanisms for self-regulation didn't work? What kept you in fight or flight, freeze or fawn? What kept you feeling unsafe and unstable? Because the King of Cups is saying we need harmony to stabilize. And self-regulation is going to help you get there. All right, your last cards are the Cosmic Magic Oracle. And we've got first quarter with focus. Okay, so more confirmation. I'm not going to go into that any deeper than we need to. And we got Pisces, more confirmation for Pisces with your intuition. Don't need to go into that. Then we got South Node with Karma. So again, more releasing of the stuff that you want to leave behind. Confirmation for that. And your last one here is fire, more confirmation with burn. Let it burn. Let everything that doesn't serve you right now burn. And I'm not saying in a physical, literal way, but like let it go. And then use that spark of the match to be the inspiration for your next move, right? What lights you up? What are you passionate about? What is that burning desire that you want to go and do? Because if you let everything that doesn't serve you go now, you can focus on the new passion, on the thing that lights you up to drive you toward your next goal. Because when things hold you down, you're like the 10 of Wands with that baggage, or what's that lady with all of the hoarding stuff on her back in the labyrinth, that crazy looking puppet. That's who I see with the 10 of Wands energy. And that was a very big visual that came up just now. So you don't want to be that puppet. You want to be fresh, renewed, energized. And that's what this inspirational burn is going to be for you. I do want to read you the affirmations for these because I feel like that's important. So the affirmation for the first quarter focus is I am engaged in the present moment and making the most out of opportunities that are before me. All right, and for Pisces, it says, I trust my intuition and allow it to be my guide. For the South Node Karma, the affirmation is, I am mindful of my actions and the energy that I put out in the world. And your last one for fire is, I am burning away any unwanted energies that are not serving me, and I am making room for new growth. I love that one so much. All right, I know that was a lot of information and I sound really weird right now, but I do apologize. So with that being said, please let me know if this resonated with you, if this made sense down in the comments. Let me know that you have made it this far in the video with dropping a moon emoji. And thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I love you and I like you, and I hope you have a wonderful full moon. And with that being said, if you have not done so already, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell on your way out of this video. That way you will never miss an upload from me. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.